Good morning. Today's pose is going to be about crow pose. I came out to my feeders this morning and the crows were all over the place, and I thought, well, maybe that's what today's pose breakdown is going to be about. So this pose, in my opinion, is one of the most unpredictable poses in yoga. I've seen first-timers pop right up into it, and I've seen people that have practiced for years that continue to work through it. So you never know what's going to happen in this pose. If you have a block, go ahead and grab it. I'll provide a couple of options using the block. If you're seasoned crow professional and wanting to get into crane pose, I will also offer that option as well, with a couple of more playful poses in there as well. So we'll get started, and the crows did bless my mat this morning, so just ignore that. Grab your block and we'll go through a couple of options. So the first option I like to provide is using it for our feet. So we'll just come into a low squat here and just walk ourselves up onto the block. Then we're going to place the hands on the mat and start to squeeze the knees into the arms and press the arms back out to the knees. So we've got this dynamic tension happening here. Pretend you're Suzanne Summers and you got your thigh master. That's what we want here. So placing the hands shoulders distance apart, squeeze in, press out, gaze forward, gaze out away from the mat. And then from here, if we're feeling comfortable, we can lift 1 foot, maybe 2 feet, maybe bring the soles together. If we're worried about face planting, which sometimes is more of a mental barrier than a physical one, we can take our block, place it arm's distance, further than you think you should. Place it out there, away from the body. Then we're going to set ourselves up, once again, push those shoulders back. Then we're going to bring our hairline right where the hair meets the forehead. We're going to bring that onto our mat and continue to play from here. If we don't have a block, we can still do the same thing. We're going to bring our hairline down to the ground, set ourselves up in our crow, and then over time, we'll start to be able to lift that gaze. So if you've been practicing crow for a while, we're going to go ahead and move through crow into our crane without the block. So setting ourselves up, strong foundation here, shifting forward, lifting 1 foot at a time. So we want to make sure there's no bleeding in yoga. Rule number 1, looking out, lifting 1 foot. If we're comfortable, lift the other and bring the soles to meet. If this is comfortable for us, we can move into crane pose, which is very similar, only now we're going to rest on the back of the triceps, the back of the arms. So we fly a little bit higher. So when we're ready, set ourselves up, lift the hips, lift the heels, getting way up into those armpits. Gazing out, and we can fly from here. When we feel completely comfortable there, we can start to play with our crow a little bit. So I'm going to turn sideways, setting ourselves up in our crane. Pick it up, powerful. If we want to, we can shift the weight into one arm and start to extend into a flying crow. Or we can always hop out of the nest and finish our flow. So there we have a little bit of crow. If I've left anything untouched and you have questions, please let me know. Otherwise, enjoy the day. It's beautiful. Namaste.